This video is about Ariel, Proletario1 on X. I'm looking at this picture here. I guess this must be him. And it looks like he's got some kind of military uniform on. I haven't read enough of his stuff at this point. I did read a lot of it at first, and I do read stuff here and there because I'm a researcher. But when I found out he was, and I thought he had some good stuff until I found out who his sources were. But I want to apologize for all the background noise in this video because our air conditioner went out, and so we've got a couple of, we've got a mini split and a couple of room air conditioners and fans blowing everywhere, so it's very noisy in the background. So I want to apologize for that. So this is why I'm making this video. This is what I do. This is my calling, and this is my expertise. And you don't have to believe that. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, but it is my purpose and the calling that I've been doing literally since I was about 12 years old. I've been dealing with ministers, false prophets, and cults very heavily since 1991 when I got out of the cult. So I'm not a novice. And like I said, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I don't hate Ariel. I hope he hears this. God bless you. Okay, Inner Circle Intel, $11 a month. I can't help but remember my training in cults. My training being a whistleblower, having been in a Bible-based religious cult for years. From the time I was a young adult, about 27, until off and on 1991, when I was 41, I think. But they had an inner circle, and it was a sex ring, basically. Men, women, children. The most part of us had no idea what was going on. And until we finally found out. And when I found out, I confronted, and my life was literally threatened, that I was going to be dead within a couple of weeks in a horrible fiery car crash, burned and charred beyond recognition. I've been there and done that. But with the help of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, He gave me the strength to stand up against it. 5 years later, the cult leader dropped dead in church in front of 500 people. Right there. He had 3 heart attacks in a row. The doctor said he didn't have nothing wrong with his heart. Said he had the heart of a teenager. So, the time comes when people just, they refuse to repent, do the right thing. God don't judge them. People judge themselves by what they do. That's fact. So, God is extremely long-suffering and merciful. And for 5 years, He dealt with this cult leader. I've got a website. Every letter that I ever wrote to him is on that website. Because he wouldn't let anyone use them, read them. He said, bring them to me. Don't open it. Bring it to me. I mean, back then, we didn't have text or internet or even home computers. I think I got my first little DOS home computer in 1992. So, anyway, inner circle intel is a big red flag for me, because every cult has an inner circle. If someone's trying to take you off to a private space, or a space where you have to pay, where you got a paywall that you got to pay to get in, that's a big red flag. And at the end of this, I'm going to go through and show you how much money he's making per month and year. So, you got celebrity deaths, untold report. This is all the stuff he's going to tell you about. Current status on my Patreon, which is Patreon. All right. Anyway, his current status on my Patreon, the Red Book Club, 5,000 membership limit, but the current members are 3,877 plus. Once 5,000 is reached, no new members will be accepted. So it's very exclusive. Can things change? No. Upcoming reports Monday. And here's some of the juicy stuff you'll get. More info on Gene Hackman's death. More info on Beyonce's role in child trafficking. More info on what happened to Prince. More info on Hollywood studios involved in child sex abuse. More exclusive details on politicians involved in child trafficking, with names. More info on those involved in cannibal clubs, with names. More info on what happened to Barack Obama's chef. Meghan Markle's role in child trafficking. Elon Musk's mother, Sedona, Arizona connection to child trafficking, pending approval. This info will not be available anywhere else on the internet. People, don't fall for this. I know it's only $11 a month. But if he gets 5,000 subscribers, he's making $55,000 a month. He's in this for the money. It's exclusive. It's special. Nobody else knows it. You can't get it anywhere else. That's a cult. I have a list on my website that you can check off. And if you have so many checked off on that thing, that means you're in a cult. I would say the number one thing, warning signal in a cult, a destructive cult, is money. Follow the money. The second would be power. An exclusive leader who knows things no one else knows. And you pay your tithes and you give your money to the church, and you'll get to hear the special stuff. All of these reports will have extremely extensive details and very sensitive. So I may take some of those stories down after 48 hours. So please make sure you archive everything offline. Only so many seats left. If you guys haven't learned by now that these are just red flags and danger signals going off everywhere, then you need to learn real quick. How far do you want to go? How deep can you actually swim? How much more? How much can your emotional level tolerate? How much can you stretch your curiosity out into the unknown? Do you want to test out how much you're willing to know? You have the opportunity to do that. All you have to do is click below. My info comes with no apologies. Where is he getting his info? Where? I know at least 3 people he's getting it from. This is from his own mouth. He has made this public. I approached him about it, and he defended them. Timothy Charles Homseth, Fiona Barnett, Jesse Shabroder, a practicing witch and Satanist. Timothy Homseth is a narcissistic sociopath who has about 10 to 20% truth, and the rest of it's made up sensationalized lies. My info comes with no filter. My info comes with no guardrails, raw, uncut, uncensored, untouchable. The bounds of your imagination are decided by the limitations you put on them. Do you want to reclaim your desire to expand beyond your comfort zone? The line can be drawn today for $11 a month, until the price goes up eventually, probably. All you need to decide where you will end up in this process of awakening can start below. Good luck with your sign up. Patreon.com/C/Proletario1. I just want to vomit right now. Okay. This is some of his other stuff. Guerrilla warfare, digital battlefield, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, independent. What you identify as has no standing here. This page is for thinkers. This info is for observation. This war is for your mind and soul. The end game is here. Be ready. Like I said, all liars have some truth. That's the bait. A lot of bait here. The big beautiful bill. The debt increase looking less likely by the day. No tax on tips. No taxes on overtime. No property taxes. No taxes taken out of payroll. No taxes on capital gains. No tax on gold, silver. Billions coming in from other countries on top of this. Billions coming in for AI development. Billions coming in for emerging market. Guess what? This is without the reevaluation of currency happening yet. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. I mean, now we know that the big bill passed, and there's some good things and probably not some so good things in there, but I think it's going to help our country. We'll see. This is without the Federal Reserve being removed yet. This is without the remaining 40-plus states adopting the gold standard. Do you know how many people have left out these basic facts and are trying to convince you that we're headed toward massive inflation? But they do know that. What do know? Why? What? Okay. Because now their new argument is changing the BBB to 666, just in case they have to pull this out to avoid having egg on their faces when the doom and gloom doesn't come. They can claim that you're supporting the Antichrist once you wake up with more money in your account, once they flip the switch. People are addicted to their misery, and they will do anything to sell you on the illusion that there is no possible way the source of their pain and sorrow cannot be removed, since most of it is tied to poverty, scarcity, and death. Well, you're not living in poverty, are you, Ariel? If you have 3,877 members paying you $11 a month, you're making a lot of money, close to $500,000 a year. So you're certainly not going to be in poverty or scarcity or debt. And they were told by the media that it will always be this way, so they shouldn't be excited about the future, because they are only going to have more of what is not currency, making them happy or miserable. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But I know I have not, up to this point, read anything. Of course, I don't read all of Ariel's stuff, so I'm not saying he doesn't know stuff I don't know. But a lot of the stuff that he talks about, I was talking about 20 years ago. Of course, I just turned 77 years old yesterday. And I don't have anything against Ariel. I don't know him. But I've been watching him for the last almost 2 years now. I've been watching, like I said, I don't go read all of his stuff because I don't trust him, because of who he uses for sources. And because he's begging for money, or he's demanding money if you want the good, juicy stuff. I know what a cult is. I can smell one a mile away. They would literally have to be hit in the face with the reality of everything that would make this new world tangible for them to be so obvious. They will even be mad at themselves for believing it would never happen. So, be careful out there. Okay, so let's look at 3877. 3,877 have already become members of Ariel's private club. Only if you pay $11 a month do you get to see the really special good stuff. Okay, so he's capping off his membership at 5,000. After that, there's no more memberships. But right now, it's 3,877 times $11 equals $42,647 a month. That's interesting, isn't it? Even if each person only give $1 a month, it would be $4,264 a month. But $42,647 a month times 12 months, that's over $500,000 a year. Just for that. Okay, 5,000 people times $11 a month equals $55,000 a month. Times 12 months is $660,000 a year. Then you get to see all his special celebrity stuff. I don't know Ariel. I don't know what his real name is, or if that's his name. The only reason I'm looking into this is because he has such a huge following, and he uses Timothy Homseth, Jesse Stabroder, Fiona Barnett as sources.